Welcome to the next part of this video demo series. The next thing I'm going to work on, I'm still working on parts, individual tasks within Lab 9-1 for the course. The next thing we're going to do is create a customization specification for these sales laptops that we're going to pool and virtualize. Now this is something we've done before. We've done it in Chapter 8, dealing with actually maybe it was no actually it was chapter 7 dealing with templates and cloning and turning a VM into a template and vice versa. So this should be a somewhat familiar process, but it's not something we've done very often, so I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it again. So I've got my actually, let me know what let me I've got my MindTap layout. We're going to do activity 9. We're going to jump to activity 9.7. Let me see. Let me go on to lab 1. I'll say yes. I want to make sure that the horizon thing is not there. Oh, I might have to do this again right quick. Hold on. All right. So I'm actually rerunning some of the preliminary stuff because I took a break between these labs, came back into MindTap, and it's working again. I have to do all the prep work again before I can actually move on to the thing I want to demonstrate. I wanted to actually, because I'm reinstalling the Horizon server. I think we might actually see the moment at which it actually adds Active Directory services to all this stuff. Look at my tools. See, I've got lightweight directory services. I haven't seen some of the directory services stuff show up here in my server manager yet. But we shall see. Hold on just a second. And I actually did take a snip. Now that I'm doing it again, I took a snip of, sorry, not that, sorry, of the screen I noted in the previous demo video. These are the things that Horizon needs. Port 8009, port 80, port 443, port 4001, port 4002, 4100, 4101, 4172, 8472, 443, and UDP port for 4172. So for 4172, it uses both TCP and UDP for the PCOIP protocol. Just thought I would call that out. Okay, so no, we don't need to see the README file because we know from the previous that it is quite short. Boom. Okay. Okay. Strangely enough, actually, let me close this. Actually, let me refresh this. And bam, here we go. Lightweight directory services is now part of the equation. And my tool list has not changed appreciably, but my local server, all servers. I now have things like the schema analyzer, other things like that. So there's that. All that happened as a consequence of installing Horizon. Essentially, Horizon triggered an add, role, and feature process inside the server OS itself. You see, so there's that. The next thing we need to do is configure it. The installation is complete. Yeah. So now what we need to do, we're going to move the server manager over here, and I'll stop this because we've done this already. I just wanted to call out those little changes. We'll get back to what I'm actually trying to show you here in just a minute. Okay, so I just wanted to, I've redone the work of adding my users and my groups. I can actually drag this to the side. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going nuts. I can see my new sales user group, and I can see my properties. I can see its membership. Yeah, these 4 people. I was wondering where the remote desktop user group was because it's very obviously not here. I found it inbuilt in. So I can see, let me drag this over. Come on, you. There we go. There. Boom. I've got my RDS endpoint servers, RDS manage, access, remote desktop users, remote management users. So let's look at my remote desktop users, and I see members, these 4 accounts that I just built. So yes, this is a function of the OS, so it's a built-in group. You might not see this if remote desktop services is not installed somewhere in the Active Directory, but it is. So cool. Now, the next thing I'm actually going to do is look at these specifications. So that's, I apologize for the chasing of rabbits. But so what we're actually going to do now is go to the VC. And I'm going to pause for just a minute, log in, and I'll do that right quick. So that won't actually be another video. We're going to need the vSphere client as usual, administrator at vSphere.local. And remember, that's one of the things that differentiates logging in to a vCenter server from logging in to an individual ESXi host. With the host, you'll be using a username. With the server, to get into the server as itself, regardless of whether it's running on an ESXi host, you'll use that single sign-on vSphere at local, or whatever your domain name happens to be. vSphere.local is kind of a default. You could make it yourdomain.local. The DNS system tends to kind of ignore that .local suffix. On a Linux box, you have to do some special things to make DNS resolution work in a .local domain. Anyway, so what we're going to do, so we're here. What our goal now is to build that custom specification. So we're going to go to monitoring, custom specification manager. So what we want to do is, so we have none. That's okay. So we're going to click new customization specification. And it is going to be, we're going to give it a name, and let's see, code, let's see. So it's Windows, good. We don't seem to need a custom sysprep this time. We'll talk a little bit more about sysprep in the, I think we'll talk a little bit more about sysprep in the MS part of this. So let's call sales virtual desktop spec. We don't need a description. Okay, I'm going to skip the description. You know what? I don't think I can quite script a copy. Boom. Better to give it some. Come on. Better to give it something than nothing. Anyways. And then we're going to click next. Registration information. PL Corp, not PL Crop. Let's see. We're going to go to the computer name. So we have enter a name, use the VM name, enter a name, and clone and deploy. We could append a numeric value to ensure uniqueness, like say VM0, 1, 2, 3. And the name cannot exceed 15 characters to help fit inside the limits of those vestiges of NetBIOS that we still occasionally have to deal with. You see, use the VM name. It will be, if it exceeds 15 characters, it will be truncated. Next, we're going to take the server license thing out. I'm going to leave the product key blank. Next, admin password. Okay, that doesn't match. Okay, maybe it does match. Okay. Okay. Log in as admin once. Next. Time zone. I'm going to pick Chicago, Dallas, and Kansas City. Okay, next. Use, let's see, leave the run ones blank. Use standard network config. Next, we're going to set a domain. Call it practicelabs.com. We're basically telling it how to log into the domain, how to add itself to the domain at will. We want it to generate a new SID so it won't create any conflicts with other systems. And click Next and finish. And okay, looks like the task went like that. So we're going to go back to our Home tab. Let's see, Sales Virtual Desktop. Okay, we're gonna use this again in a later activity. Let's see, VMs and templates. No, that's not the right place. Okay, this is all we need to do. We can see it in our custom spec manager, but now for the moment we're good. That's really all there is to it. So just as a review, because forgetting what I did in about the first 5 minutes because I had to redo some other work. What we're doing here is creating a form, a template of sorts. Well, we're going to use a VM template, but we also need to customize the VM that we're actually deploying from that VM template. We do that with this customization specification. Specific information, so you fill out and turn that VM template into a working, running guest OS installation. It's like providing the guest OS profile in the System Center. So thanks for watching.